welcome to the first video tutorial on how to create granny squares for this community crocheting project. In this video I'm going to show you how to crochet a solid granny square a bit like this with corners. And for this tutorial you will need a crocheting hook. So mine's 6mm, but you can use any size hook, it doesn't matter. And again I'm just using basic yarn that you can get anywhere and any colour will do. We're trying to make this blanket as mismatched as possible, and also you'll need some scissors to finish off the square and cut it. So we're going to start off by creating a slip knot, and we do that by grabbing the yarn between our thumb and two fingers and wrapping it round twice to form this X shape on top of our fingers, like this. Grab your hook and push the hook under the first loop of the X and place the hook over the second loop and pull it through, and then just tighten it, and there you have created your slip knot. And to start off this square we want to chain 4, so yarn over, chain 4, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then we have a chain of 4. And to start this square off we need to create a circle with this chain, and to do that find the first chain on your chain of 4, so mine's about here. Grab your hook and push your hook through the first chain to create a slip stitch. So you should have 2 chains on your hook, should look a bit like this. And then to create that slip stitch we need to yarn over and pull over both of these stitches. Now your work might be a bit tight, so you'll have to pull it apart to loosen it to find the center of the circle. Mine's about here, and this will be crocheting into. So next we want to start off our first round, and to do that we start by chaining 3. So yarn over and chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Should look something like this. And this chain of 3 counts as 1 double crochet, and so we need 3 more double crochets to create 4, and that will create 1 corner of our square. So yarn over, find the center of your circle and place the hook through it, and so you should have 2 stitches and the circle on your hook. Yarn over, pull the circle over, so you should have 3 stitches on your hook. Yarn over again, pull over 2 stitches, yarn over again, pull over 2 stitches, and there you have your first double crochet and the chain of 3 on your circle. My work's a bit tight, so I'll just have to pull it apart a bit. Something like this, that's in the way. You should currently have something like this with the circle and the chain of 3 and the double crochet. And now we need to do 2 more double crochets, so yarn over, push the hook through the center of the circle, yarn over, pull over the circle, yarn over, pull over those 2 stitches, yarn over and pull over 2 more stitches. And again, it's important to kind of pull out your work a bit just so it's clear and you can see what you're doing, because it can get a bit tight and complicated sometimes, especially if you're a beginner. And 1 more double crochet, so yarn over, push it through the center of the circle, yarn over, pull it through, so you should have 3 stitches, yarn over, pull over 2 stitches, yarn over and pull through 2 stitches. So this is the first corner of our square, the chain of 3 here and the 3 double crochets, and this is 1 corner of our square. So next what we need to do is chain 2 to create the corner. So yarn over, 1, 2, and then we just repeat the pattern. So that's 4 more double crochets, chain 2, 4 more double crochets, chain 2, 4 more double crochets, chain 2, and then we'll slip stitch it in here to finish off the first round. But if you're not a complete beginner, you can skip to the next round, or I'm gonna do this whole round if you're a beginner and you are still struggling with doing double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, push my hook through the center of the circle, yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, pull over 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches, and then again, yarn over, push the hook through, yarn over, take 2 stitches over, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches again. Now 2 more for this corner, yarn over, push the hook through, yarn over, pull over the circle, yarn over and pull over 2 stitches, and then yarn over and pull over 2 stitches. And just one more time now. Should be getting the hang of this. It's quite an easy stitch once you know how to do it. And there we have another section to our square, and again we want to chain 2, so yarn over and yarn over and pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull that stitch over, so that's chain 2. And as you can see, this creates like the chain 2 creates like a little gap which will be our corner and will go up the square. So now you just need to do 4 more double crochets, chain 2 and 4 more double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 'and then chain 2 for another corner, 1, 2, and then 4 more double crochets to finish this round off. And you can see it kind of starting to take shape at this point into a square. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is all the double crocheting done for this round. So to finish it off, we just need to chain 2 to finish off that final corner. So yarn over and chain 2. And then we return to the chain of 3 we did at the beginning of this round, and to finish off you just want to count up to the 3rd chain on this row. So 1, 2, 3, mine's about here. Yeah, mine's about here. And you want to push your hook through that stitch. Sometimes it can be a bit tight. So you have 2 stitches on your hook, yarn over, and just create that slip stitch by pulling over these 2 stitches. And that is the first round. Okay, so now we're going to start our next round, round 2, and we're going to start this the same way as round 1, where we chain 3. So yarn over and chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And again, this kind of acts as our first double crochet of this round. And for this round, what we're going to do is double crochet into every double crochet from the previous round, so every stitch here. And then at the corner, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets, and then repeat this all the way around the square. Now, if that sounds complicated, don't worry, I'm going to take you through it. So hopefully you should be familiar with double crochets at this point. So yarn over, push through the first stitch on this round, that from the previous round. So for me that's here. Push your hook through on top of the last double crochet that we did, yarn over, pull the yarn through, should have 3 stitches on your hook, yarn over, pull over those 2 stitches, yarn over, and pull over 2 stitches. And we're going to repeat this for the next stitch for on top of this round that we did on top of our previous round. So yarn over, push the hook through, yarn over, pull over those 2 stitches, and again pull over those stitches. So hopefully you are understanding this. So we just double crochet into the stitches from our last round, so on top of the double crochets from our last round. So I'll just keep showing you. So we've double crocheted on top of the 3 double crochets from the last round, so it should look something like this at the moment. And then we've reached our corner, so for this we want to do 2 double crochets. So there's 1 into this corner here, and there's 2. So as you can see, I've put 2 double crochets into that chain 2 from the previous round into this gap, and we're going to chain 2 again. This is to create another corner like we did with the previous round. And again, we want to do 2 double crochets into this same gap here, into this corner. So there's 1. And 2. So this is what it should look like. So you can see we've double crocheted on top of the double crochets from the previous round, and then we've done this corner by doing 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets, so it should look something a bit like this, and you can see it's kind of starting to take shape a bit. I'm just going to do 1 more row and 1 more corner just in case you are still a bit confused. So as you can clearly see, these are our stitches from our previous round, and we're going to double crochet into them. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3, and then we've reached another corner, so the chain 2 from the previous round, and again we do 2 double crochets into this corner. And another one. And then we want to chain 2 to create that corner. So 1, 2, and then yarn over and 2 more double crochets into that same corner. And here is what we have so far. So as you can see, this creates another corner for this round, and it's starting to take shape a bit. I'm going to meet you back here to show you how to finish off the round and start the next one. Okay, so as you can see, I've finished round 2, and I've just done my final corner here with the 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. So to finish this off, it's very similar to round 1. Find your chain that we made at the beginning and count up to the 3rd stitch. So 1, 2, 3, mine's about here. Push your hook through that stitch, yarn over and pull over these 2 stitches. And it should look something like this so far. And for the 3rd round, it's very similar. We follow the same pattern all the way around, but I'm just going to show you how to do that. So we start off the same with chaining 3. So yarn over 1, 2 and 3. And we want to double crochet into the top of every stitch from our previous round, and the same with the corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. So I'll just take you through that. So yarn over, find that first stitch, which is about here for me, push that hook through, yarn over, take over those 2 stitches, yarn over, take over those 2 stitches. Hopefully you should be very familiar with double crocheting now. And into the next stitch. So far I've done 3 double crochets and then my chain 3 is here. So 2 more stitches along this row. And the final one. So it should look something like this so far, just with this row here. And we've reached the corner, so again on this corner, 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and 2. And then chain 2, 1 and 2, and then again 2 double crochets into that same gap. And the final one here. And it should look something like this, and you kind of just want to continue this pattern all the way around the square. And I will meet you after I finish this corner here, because closing off this round is just a slightly bit different from the others, and I'll see you there. Okay, so I've just finished, just about finished that 3rd round there, and I've just finished the final corner. And I'm just going to show you how to finish off this round because it's only slightly different from before, and that's because of the stitch increase. We have to crochet a few crochets here before we can use the slip stitch to seal it off, and that's really easy. So we just double crochet into this next stitch here, and then we will just be able to slip stitch into the 3rd stitch on our chain. So mine's about here, push that hook through and complete the round. So here's my square so far. Stretch out a bit. It should look like this. So every time you increase a round, the stitches you have to do here before you can seal it off will increase. So it's just keep that in mind as you keep going. And we want to do about 2 more rounds of this to finish off the square and make it a good size. But if you want to go bigger, you can, or if you want to keep it small, that's totally up to you. Okay, so I've just finished the final round of the square and I've got it to the size that I want to. So I'm just going to show you guys how to finish off the square. And to do that, we finish the round the same as all the others. We find the third stitch of our chain here that we did at the beginning of the round. So 1, 2, 3. So that's around here for me. Just push the hook through, yarn over and create that slip stitch, pulling over these 2 stitches. And then to seal it off, all I do is chain 1 and pull the yarn tight through, so you have a kind of knot here, and then get some scissors and just cut that loop here. And don't worry about this here, because we will crochet it into the square once we stitch the blanket together. Thank you so much for watching this video tutorial, and if you're interested in making some other squares, you should check out the other tutorials, and thank you for taking part in this project.